It's 2011, and A$AP Rocky has just dropped Live Love ASAP, and it instantly became a classic. This album has made waves, particularly within the cloud rap scene, and would go on to be one of the most iconic cloud rap albums. And right next to Rocky while this was happening was Space Ghost Perp, who dropped Blackland Radio a few months earlier. Rocky being the main man of A$AP Mob and Perp being the founder of Radio Clan, these two were set to dominate the rap game for years to come. But that's not how things worked out, as Radio Clan and A$AP Mob would have an extreme falling out. The tensions between the group hit an all-time high when A$AP member 12E jumped Matt Stoops. This is when SGP announced they were no longer affiliated with Rocky or A$AP Mob.
Nigga ain't with A$AP, bro. Nigga never was with them niggas. I was affiliated with them niggas back in the day. I showed all them niggas love like a real nigga fool. And you know what I'm saying? All that fuck shit happened after that. But until then, nigga, these my niggas right here. My nigga don't ride with my niggas, fool. Fuck.
After this, Rocky and Perp's careers moved in very different trajectories. Rocky soared into the mainstream, getting credit for all of Perp's original influence, all whilst A$AP Mob practically blackballed SGP out the industry. Now, in SGP's eyes, this was nothing but unfair. Not only did he influence Rocky's sound and style, but to this day, you can still spot SGP's influence all around the underground and even the mainstream. Whether it's Vamps, V-Lone, or just the sound in general. And as for Perp, he went off into the deep end as he struggled with mental health issues and drug abuse. Now, Perp is known as an icon within the underground, and one of the biggest what-ifs in music history. I've always wondered if A$AP Rocky and Perp never fell out, would Perp's style still be the same? Would he have released all of the same music? I mean, we'll never really know, but I still don't think Perp is wasted potential. I just think he could have been bigger while keeping true to his style. But I feel like rap has always been one of those genres that have just had artists who fall under that category of sort of what could have been or wasted potential. And I think the one that makes me the most annoyed is Jay Electronica. Jay was seen as the next big thing as he had labels having bidding wars over him after he dropped one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time, Exhibit C. He ended up signing with Roc Nation, which means he had all the tools one could need to become the next big thing. And what Jay did next shocked the world, because he did literally nothing. But Jay did do some things outside of music. Married and had a kid with Erykah Badu, also had an affair with the damn Rothschild, and now Jay does drop music, which is a shadow of what it once was, and is extremely anti-Semitic. He also has a Discord server that he's surprisingly active on, especially for his old age, and he also cries over his good friend Diddy.
It's my brother. My brother. And they got him all trucked up charges.
You know how there is a rapper.
I'm just out here with my brother.
Yo, daddy ain't coming home, nigga. I'm talking about some free you. Nigga, fuck you. Weirdo ass nigga. I know that's your daddy and all, but your daddy a creep. Your daddy weird, boy. You weird too, cause you probably knew something better yet. Fuck you, nigga. And fuck your music too, bitch ass nigga. Your mangy ass.
Well, let's go back to Miami now, and let's talk about Reuben Slikk. I talked about him in my last video, and by the way, thanks for all the support on that. 4K views is crazy. And what I said there still stands here. Dropping an amazing debut album and having a fair few decent albums out of the 30 plus projects he dropped is just disappointing. But his lack of effort towards music wasn't the only thing that held him back, as he had stints in jail, struggled with drug abuse and mental health problems. Oh yeah, and it also doesn't help that him and Mike DC just wouldn't stop talking about rape. I will say though, Slikk alongside Metro Zoo were extremely ahead of the curve when it came to releasing music on the internet, and even now you can go and see all their stuff back there from the 2010s. I think if he had maybe leaned into the style he had on Sing For You and went more introspective, he could have been an all-time great, while still having his old stuff to go look back on. But it just wasn't meant to be. Another rapper who used the internet to their advantage is Yabajin, as he created an entire ARG and a universe around his early music that was known as Azeroth. He also dropped one of the most experimental cloud rap albums of all time with Flash Desire, and if you've heard Flash Desire, I think you'll agree with me that there's genuinely nothing like it. Yabajin is known for his iconic sampling of video games, and interestingly enough, one of his first ever EPs actually features a Minecraft sample.
Train
Anyways, after Flash Desire, we got a few EPs and then nothing. The Evergen hasn't been keen on releasing anything since 2022. At this point, we are lucky to get the occasional reactivated Instagram account with a story post. Now, onto the genre that is most well known for these wasted potential or what could have been type of bands and artists, Midwest Emo. And yeah, I'll start with the most iconic one in American football. They dropped one of the greatest Midwest Emo albums of all time and just dipped for 17 years. And now have two more self-titled albums that just don't really compare to the original, but are still solid. But this is straight up the playbook of every Midwest Emo band ever, except sometimes you don't even get the reunion. I think it's bittersweet that they moved on, as if you look at the lyrics from the album, it touches on themes of moving on from relationships and overall moving on from being a teenager and transitioning into adulthood. And that's exactly what the members did. And you can't mention American football or even Midwest Emo in general without mentioning Captain Jazz. They released a couple EPs in the 90s and that one album with a really long name in 1995 that defined the genre as a whole. And all of their members went on to go join different bands and continue defining the genre. Mike Kinsella, the drummer of the band, even went on to go join American football. But yeah, this is just straight up the playbook of every Midwest Emo band ever. Swedish band The Far Apart didn't even release an album, only a 3-track EP that had no misses, and they could have just been one of the best bands in the 90s. Snowing showed extreme promise, releasing one album during the Midwest Emo revival of sorts during the 2010s, and yeah, like all their predecessors, they stopped making music. I could go on for days about bands like this. Texas Is the Reason, Everyone Asked About You, Modern Baseball, kinda. But realistically, I don't think these bands are ever meant to last. They typically make up of high schoolers and uni students, so life just sadly gets in the way. It's extremely fitting for the things Midwest Emo lyrics usually tackles. But here's to hoping for more reunions just like American football. Another artist I want to mention before I get bombarded with comments about who I didn't or who I did mention is Lauryn Hill. She made one of the most highly regarded albums within hip-hop and the R&B genre. She does have that live album, but it isn't really all that special, and you can tell music really wasn't a focus at the time, which is fair enough. LSD and The Search for God have always been one of my favourite bands, and it kills me that they haven't even released a full studio album yet. 2 really good EPs that doesn't give off the repetitive feeling that most shoegaze does after the 90s. If they made more music, I think they could be one of the greatest shoegaze bands of all time, but I guess it's not meant to be. Live to Experience is a pretty similar situation to LSD and The Search for God, as they released an EP, and they were even kind enough to release an album as well, but they split up. I will say though, LSD and The Search for God have been teasing an album for like the past 3 years now, so hopefully they'll drop something. Now I'm going to talk about some artists who definitely aren't wasted potential necessarily, but could have dropped a few more albums because their music is really good. Frank Ocean, not having one bad project and arguably one of the greatest R&B albums of all time in Blonde. Frank's brother sadly passed away in a tragic car accident, which has stopped him from releasing any music since that day. Frank did do a performance at Coachella in his brother's honor, and has also been appearing on UFC fighter Peyton Talbot's YouTube channel, which he has shown leaks of new music, so that's pretty cool. Off topic, but Peyton Talbot has an album called Flies of Lars, which is pretty cool, and y'all should just check it out. Anyway, back on track to the actual video. Title Fight had a great run of albums, with Shed and Floral Green being the more notable ones for me personally. They announced a hiatus in 2018, and ever since that day, people have been clamoring for them to come back, even more so with them getting popular on TikTok. I guess the good news is you can check out Ned Rosson's side project under Glitterer, which already has the same amount of album releases as Title Fight. The bad news, Title Fight's not going to come back. Okay, now it's time to talk about some Vaporwave. Chuck Person's Echo Jams Volume 1 desperately needs a Volume 2 in my opinion, as good Echo Jam albums are few and far between. Even after all this time since the release, One Drinks Point Never's obviously had an amazing career doing what he does, including being the executive producer for Dawn FM, but I still forever want to follow up to the Vaporwave origins. Another artist that falls in that same boat for me is James Ferraro, and yeah, I get it, he has over 100 albums and I know I'm being greedy, but he is credited as one of the main pioneers for the Vaporwave genre without actually ever making a pure Vaporwave album. And yes, we got Farside Virtual, but that's Utopian Virtual, and I'm curious to what James would be able to create if he focused on solely a Vaporwave project. Also, a collab album with Blade would be nice as well. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, guys. Hopefully this is an improvement to my last one, and make sure to follow my TikTok as I try to post album recommendations daily there. Also, if you want to talk to me and a cool community of mutuals about music, then join the Discord server.